Hey everyone, this is Danielle from Findable Digital Marketing, and I just finished a Facebook Live with Alex Parker. This is the fourth part of our summer series interviewing SEO specialists, and Alex is a specialist and expert in affiliate marketing. So he knows how to make money off content using affiliate links. So if you are a blogger or you have a blog for your business, this might be really interesting for you to create another source of revenue. So I hope you like it. I'm going to put up the whole interview, the 1 hour thing, just because it's that good. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments and I'll answer them later on. And if you want to see the next two lives we have coming up this month, go to our Facebook page at Findable Digital Marketing. And you can tune in live, ask your questions, get to know the speakers. And it's a really good opportunity to get free advice, essentially. So yeah, enjoy. See you later. So how long have you been doing affiliate marketing for?
Yeah, so affiliate marketing in particular now, it's been about 2 years. So I actually started it when I was in Madrid. I was working at an agency there, doing just kind of client SEO and international SEO, that kind of thing. And it's something that my brother's been involved in for quite a while with kind of the affiliate sites and trying to get something going in that kind of type of marketing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he just kind of, it kind of progressed very quickly and he needed some more help with it. So I kind of got involved, started learning much more about it. And then, yeah, within, I think it was like 6 months or so, I was kind of working part-time, and then after 12 months, completely full-time in it. So yeah, it kind of all happened pretty quickly about 2 years ago. Yeah.
It's like a natural progression, right? Like once you start to get into digital marketing or SEO, then it's very easy to
Yeah,
get into these
exactly.
like niches or these like specializations.
Exactly. I pretty much knew all the basics. Obviously,
Yeah.
SEO in general, the rules are obviously normally quite the same, right? It was just learning a little bit of a different type and how it works, basically. But yeah, it's super fun. Really enjoy doing affiliate marketing now. It's probably, I think, for me, the favorite thing I've done in SEO so far and marketing in general.
Why do you like affiliate marketing so much? What is special about it compared to like
Um,
general SEO?
yeah, I mean, I think the main thing for me was it was more just about actually doing SEO a lot of the time because, I've worked in like client SEO and in agencies and stuff like that. And obviously, as soon as you've got a lot of customers and clients to deal with, it's not just about doing work on the website, right? You also have to, manage expectations, speak to the clients a lot and all the rest of it, which is, perfectly normal. But there was a lot of the time where maybe I just kind of like, I just want to do SEO because I know
Mhm.
it's going to work, right? Like we know what we do and we know that it's going to work. But obviously clients have restrictions, maybe stuff like that, certain things they can and can't do with the websites and the businesses. And I just always had that kind of thirst for being able to just kind of get let loose and just do SEO, right?
Yeah.
And with affiliate marketing, we were able to do that because everything is our own websites. We kind of whatever, fund it all, do all the work, create everything. And I think that's the favorite, my favorite part of it is just being able to do SEO all
Just
the
do the
time
work. Yeah.
and see the results of it, and not kind of be held back by other stuff, you know.
Yeah. It's true.
So
It's
yeah,
true. When you're
I mean,
working,
apart from that, the kind of
sorry.
obvious. No, it's okay. I was just going to say, obviously, the other parts of that is, the freedom of being freelance is always nice, and that always appealed to me. I've always been somebody that loves traveling, and that allowed me to do that. But I think as well, it's just really rewarded. I think we see everything from start to finish again in terms of investing, creating the site, ranking it, and then eventually, flipping the site and selling it. You kind of see everything and do everything start to finish, and that's pretty rewarding as well. Whereas again, maybe with other types of SEO, there's other people involved
Hmm.
that kind of contribute, whereas we kind of do all the work and we see all the benefits of it. So yeah, it's pretty rewarding as well.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree. When you start doing SEO for clients, for other people, it becomes managing that relationship, right? And convincing the
100%.
value of SEO. And then, like you said, there are restrictions, like you can't implement everything yourself. It's got to go through people. So I
Yeah.
see a lot of SEO agencies,
And there's
they,
absolutely nothing wrong with that though, right? It's not like
right. Yeah. It's
it's
just the
not a
reality of
negative.
it.
It's just clients have got their businesses, right? They want to have a say. They want things done, what they think is going to be best for their business, etc. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And something I see a lot of SEO agencies do is that when they, case studies are really important, right? But like you
Sure.
mentioned, sometimes there are a lot of factors, like you can't get the results or there are other factors that are contributing to the success of a website. It's not purely SEO. So
Sure.
it kind of gets complicated when you're creating a case study. And so something I see a lot of agencies do is that they'll just create their own affiliate website on the side, and or they'll just create a website like a blog and just show like, look, this is how much traffic we can get purely from SEO. We didn't do any other type of marketing.
Yeah, I mean, if businesses have got that resource available of obviously like an internal marketing team or whatever it may be, then 100%, why not do it yourself in-house? I think, you know, obviously affiliate marketing can really appeal to those that are what you'd say maybe like a beginner business, right? Like a startup or something that's still quite small. Maybe they've not got like a huge marketing budget or resources in terms of staff and time and all the rest of it. And obviously affiliate marketing can help like that because, you know, a big thing that came up when I was in client SEO is like, I want to do all this stuff. I want to take your advice, but I just simply haven't got the budget for it or whatever. Again, the resources, the time, whatever it may be. Whereas paying for us affiliates to help promote their service or product is technically free. They're not paying like a monthly service or anything like that. You know, they're only paying when there's a sale or whatever it is, a click, whatever they want to pay us for. So it's always good for kind of startups, I guess, that are trying to get going.
For those that are tuning in and have no idea what affiliate marketing is, can you give us a description of what it is and how it's even related to SEO?
Sure. Yeah. So affiliate marketing is essentially something that, you know, businesses get involved in. They partner up with affiliates that create websites and rank them within a certain niche. And then these affiliates will, you know, promote the services and products of this business. And normally what you do is you'd have like affiliate links on our websites. When a user finds us and clicks through to the business, the affiliates normally then get paid for whether it's a click or a certain amount of traffic or the product being sold, service being sold. And, you know, that all relates to SEO just because it works pretty much the same as normal SEO, right? Us as the affiliates, we have to, you know, rank the websites, like I said, you do all the normal on-page, off-page, technical SEO strategy. So it's almost the same as normal SEO for a client, right? Like you said, some businesses will do it themselves in-house. There's really not that much that is different. There's just some parts where, you know, you tweak it, obviously, if you're doing an affiliate site compared to a client site. But so yeah, that's pretty much where it ties in with SEO because it's pretty much the same in terms of ranking
exactly. That was a great definition. Yeah, to give anyone that's watching an example. So Findable Digital Marketing is an SEO agency. We blog about SEO every week. And so we're an affiliate member of a tool called SEMrush. So I signed up, they gave me a special link, a special account. So anytime I talk about SEMrush on my website, I include that link so that anyone that's reading it will click it. And if they buy, if they try, I think it's like if they sign up for the trial, I get, I haven't used it, obviously, as you can tell.
I was going to say, if I ask you which tools you prefer, do you have to say SEMrush then?
No, so I tried, there are several tools. So there is like the premium ones are Ahref, sorry, which I'm not a member of, but I think it's a great, they don't have an affiliate program. SEMrush does. And there's like a cheaper one. It's a keyword search, or I'm not sure. It's like, I can't remember. There's like a group of like more budget friendly.
Keyword Finder is one. Keyword Finder maybe depends
something
what's
like
the
that.
tool
Yeah,
for.
it's one of the more affordable ones that are like $20 a month, and it's they've got it's like a parent company. They have several tools. So so if I talk about those programs or those tools, sorry, on the blog, I'll include that affiliate link. I haven't today. But I should. But so there are people that, like yourself, Alex, that create an entire website with the sole purpose of using these affiliate links, right, and making money purely off that. Or for me, it's just kind of like an
extra bit of revenue.
Exactly. Awesome. Sure. So that's what we'll be talking about today, right? So if you are a content creator, if you're creating content and you want to make money with affiliate links, this is how, whether it's something you want to do 100%, like that's the sole purpose of the content or the blog, or it's just something that's kind of extra. So a lot of people talk about the importance of choosing a good niche. Can you tell us a little bit about some things that you should keep in mind when you're choosing a niche, and some factors that can affect the amount of money that you get paid, like commissions or the type of products, the seasonality, the keywords, like what things, if I'm starting from scratch I haven't chosen what I want to write about. What are some things I should keep in mind?
Yeah, so I mean, niche is definitely obviously one of the most important when you're getting started because, um, some niches are very competitive, some aren't. And there's not only niches, you can choose kind of like a sub niche of a niche, right?
Hmm.
So I think one thing to take into account, especially when you're first starting out, like you said, is, what budget you've got available for that niche, right? If you're going to go into something in the health market, for example, whether it's products or services, you're normally 100% of the time going to be in a super competitive niche.
Hmm.
So if you've got like a lower budget and you're trying to get started in something, it's always better to maybe look for a niche that's less competitive. And with that, you could also maybe, like I said, look for one that's like a sub niche of a niche. So health is a bad example again because it's such a competitive market. But let's say, for example, like home and garden is the niche, right? If you choose like a real sub niche of that, you can go all the way down to something like a website that is talking about the best lawnmowers, right? And something like that becomes much less competitive. So I think looking at that first of all, what budget you've got available to actually go after the niche. And then when you've kind of decided what niche you're going to go after is also then to do the competitor research on that niche to see what you're up against, see who the big players are in the game. And I think it's like any business or project that you'd start, right? It's all about working out whether it's going to be a good ROI. Nobody wants to just put a load of money into it and throw it away. So you've really got to be thorough with the research before, I think, to look if the niche is realistic. I think that's the best way to sum it up. Is it realistic for your budget and what your budget is going to be in a year's time, etc. Because you don't want to put a load of money into it and then in a year's time find out that you just can't compete and you've wasted all your money. So that's a big thing that I would say in terms of the niche. And then, yeah, I mean, I touched on competition there. Again, competition research is one of the biggest kind of factors in terms of getting involved in anything in general, again, but especially in affiliate marketing. And not just, looking at competitors' websites. You touched on Ahrefs there. That's actually a tool that we use a lot for competitor research. So really do like a kind of deep dive into who your competitors are, trying to find out who, again, the big players are in the game, not only those who are showing up on the first page of Google, but who the actual big players are. And take a look at what they're doing. Like, stuff like Ahrefs is used to literally take apart these kind of websites and look at, their backlink profile, what sort of content they use. And that's the best way to kind of get yourself in a niche is to work out, again, whether it's realistic to get involved in that and whether you can beat these guys in the competitors. So competition, definitely a big one, and not only competition, but do the research on the competitors beforehand. And then seasonality, I mean, I think seasonality is obviously more for the products, but it still is relevant for the services as well. So yeah, definitely look into that. Obviously, if you're going into a niche where the products or services are only going to be really popular during the summer or only during the winter, then yeah, of course you've got to think about what's going to happen in the downtime. The opposite, whether it's the winter or the summer, you can't just go 6 months without it not making either any money or very little money. So yeah, definitely something to think about again with that is are the products and services going to be popular all year round, or at least the majority of the year? And I think kind of a sub part of that is as well is, are the products still going to be popular in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? Because as you know, SEO can take at least 6-12 months, depending on the resourcing and who's doing it, etc., to even get going. So if you're not planning to flip the site for another 5 years, nobody's going to want to buy that site if the product or the service is no longer popular, right? So definitely look into something like that and whether it's something that's going to last. And that's also something that makes some stuff very competitive and others not, right? Like there's some services and products out there which us as humans are always going to want or need, and therefore they'll never go kind of unpopular, if you like, or out of popularity. So yeah, definitely looking into stuff like that. What's going to be popular for at least the majority of the year, unless you can afford to kind of take 3 months where you're not making a lot of money off your affiliate sites. But again, comes down to ROI. You know, if you're losing money because of that 3 months off, it's not good for business.
Okay, I wrote down some questions while you
Sorry,
were
I think that's a really long answer.
talking. So, okay, so seasonality and lifespan is fantastic. You talk about competition and how you should, keep an eye. Are there? I mean, I assume that you make it a habit, like every month you take some time aside to study your competition. Is that how you regularly keep on top of it?
Yeah, I think again, obviously, go back to the initial stages. That's the most
Oh, yeah.
important time
Yeah.
to do it, and get all the research kind of done then. But yeah, 100% what you say there is true as well. You should never just kind of take your eye off the ball and just assume that everybody's plodding along. I mean, as we know, again, as SEOs, looking at what's working, what's ranking on page one of Google, and looking at what our competitors are doing is the biggest way to make yourself a success in terms of a website. So yeah, 100%. I mean, we try to keep kind of competitor research as an SOP, no matter what we do, whether it's looking at new content to add to the website. When we do kind of our backlinking strategies, we always look at the competitor research. So yeah, we try and get competitor research involved as much as we can with what we do in our SOPs, because again, like you said, it's they're not going to just kind of stop doing work. You want to see what they're doing, what's working for them, why are they the big player, why are they on page one of Google, and try and mirror that, right? Like that's I think that's a big part of SEO is almost copying your competitors but doing it better, right?
Yeah, outdoing them. Yeah. How
Yeah.
many competitors do you keep track of on a regular basis, out of curiosity?
I think again, starting from the start, we tend to have, I'd say maybe 5 to 10, where we're like, these are the big players, these are the ones that we're going to be competing against, and these are the ones that we kind of want to be copying and looking at what they're doing. So yeah, I'd say probably about 5 to 10, and then with the competitor research, as we go through all the process of, again, content and stuff like that, we don't always just tend to focus on those 5 or 10 that we found at the start. We also, put a big look at what is on page one, right? Because that's what's working. If we're going after a particular keyword or whatever it is, what is on page one is obviously what Google likes and what works. So we definitely just put the focus on that. But we tend to find that those 5 to 10, they're normally hanging around page one, page two anyway, because that's why they're the big players, right?
So you talked about having a sub niche, right? Looking
Yeah.
into the sub niche and the keywords. So what I end up and looking at the volume. So what ends up happening a lot of times when we pick a sub niche is that the keyword volume is extremely low, and sometimes these tools don't have a lot of data to pull from. How do you choose keywords in that case when the volume is so low and it's so niche?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously part of the thing that you've got to think about, right? Like if the search volume is just simply not there, then it's definitely not worth going into at all. I mean, if you're only going to be able to get a couple pages out of a website, then it's not worth going into. You've got to look at other options, because at the end of the day, the search volume is what's coming from the users that are searching, and if it's not there, there's really nothing you can do. So yeah, I think that's part of looking into the niche in the first place is doing the keyword research. Again, I think the big thing with all of this is planning it all out beforehand. That's a big way that people can avoid throwing away the money and failing, or whatever you want to say, is doing all that research beforehand before you get started in anything. So you don't want to find out after a year, 6 months that some things that you thought were going to have a lot of search volume just don't, right? So doing all that beforehand, looking at, planning out everything you want to do, what your ideas are, what pages you build, what type of content you're going to put on the website, and then, follow it up with, are the topics available to write about this kind of stuff? Is the search volume there? And again, that kind of stuff you can work out by, again, we use Ahrefs. So searching for the keyword, you can soon notice if there's no competitors on there or people that have got pages dedicated to those keywords, that more or less tells you that it's because it's not popular, it doesn't have the search volume, so nobody's going after it.
Yeah.
So that's something to look into. I mean, in terms of what you said about not really seeing that the tools provided the search volume, I'm not really sure why that would happen, but I do know what you mean. It happens for us on Ahrefs too. You might get a post that will say it's got 10 search volume, right? Like a long tail blog post. And then you'll check back in a week and it says 0. So we do get those kind of issues as well. But that really tends to happen just for the blog post for us. And having search volume on the blog article titles isn't always a massive factor for us. The keyword search volume becomes more vital for us when it's the kind of best review pages.
Okay, we talked about volume, knowing what you're plan ahead, getting to know what you're getting into. So
Sure.
you mentioned about ROI, return on investment.
Yeah.
So does commission play a factor? Do you look at the commission that you're going to get from a product or service, and does that help you evaluate whether or not you want to get into it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's two kind of parts to the affiliate websites in terms of where you're getting your money back. So that is the commissions, whether it's monthly, weekly, whatever the affiliate websites pay you, and then it's also how much the site is going to be worth at the end of your project, right? When it comes to selling it. So they're the two factors to work out in terms of ROI for affiliate sites. So yeah, the commission definitely plays a big part. So working out how much, based off again the page ideas that you're choosing, etc., how much money you're going to make back from those pages. So that's why I think planning it all out beforehand is very important, because you really need to look at it on, well, at least this is what we do, on a page by page basis, right? And go, this page is going to cost me X amount from content, staff, time, everything included. And this is how much I think I'm going to make back from this. And, try and work out, okay, so I need this commission percentage. I need to sell X amount of these products to make my money back for what I paid to get the page live on the website, right? So that's a big part of it. Forgetting the original question. What was the original question?
Is commission a factor?
The ROI. Yeah. So I think when you're looking at the affiliate sites, they all have different percentages of commission.
Right.
So
what is like a normal percentage, if there's a such thing?
Yeah, I'd say from what we've seen, an average would tend to be around 5%. But it does, again, depend on, and that's for products, by the way. Services can be a lot more. Like some services can offer 75% for some commissions.
Wow. So service would be like, would a SaaS company be considered a product or a service?
A what company, sorry?
A SaaS, like a software company.
That would probably be a service.
Okay.
Yeah. I am not 100%, but I'm pretty sure that would be classed as a service. Yeah.
The softwares that I've signed up for, I think they were around the 30% mark.
Okay. It does really vary. I mean, at least for what a lot of our focus is on right now, which is the product side of things, the average is around 5%. But again, with services, I have known it to be much higher. It's something that we're looking at ourselves as well. Getting into.
Definitely higher than 5%.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so with the commissions, they just vary, and that's something you've got to look at when you're choosing the websites that you're going to partner with, right? In terms of the affiliate partnerships, you've got to look at not only the cookie policy, but also what percentage they're offering you, and then that will also vary between categories. So Amazon is obviously a big one in terms of affiliate marketing that everybody uses. And they will offer a higher percentage for some stuff, and they'll go all the way down to 1% on other stuff. So that's obviously another big thing to think about, because even if you're selling a lot of products at 1%, it's very difficult to make that ROI that we're talking about. So yeah, you'll 99% of the time when you get involved in affiliate marketing, you will be able to see what the percentage is going to be before you get into it.
Right. So I imagine the lower the commission is, the more traffic you need to compensate, right? And if it's something like 25% or 25 or 75%, you really don't need that much traffic. Just to get an idea, like how much traffic do you need? So I guess it also depends on what your CTR, what your click-through rate, what is the average click-through rate for, let's say, products? And how much traffic do you think people need to aim for as a minimum to make it worthwhile?
Yeah, I think in terms of traffic, it can vary quite a lot, like you said, because it does more depend on how many of those users click, right? So, I think even if you were getting 50 visitors a day to the site, depending what the product or service is, as a bare minimum, you can still make plenty of sales off that if it's a product in demand or service in demand. But yeah, like what you touched on there about the click-through rate, that's definitely more important. I would say it tends to vary for products between, I'd say around 7 to 12%.
Okay.
Yeah, at least for the niches that we've been involved in.
Yeah.
So that may change and vary, but yeah,
Right.
between
Right.
7 to 12%. But yeah, that's definitely the more important part of it. If you're getting a little bit of traffic, but they're clicking through and they're converting well, then obviously it doesn't matter so much if you have numerous amounts of traffic. And I think, like SEO in general, right, it's more about the quality of the traffic, not the quantity. You can get 1,000 visitors a day, but if they're finding you via keywords that aren't relevant, etc., then no point, right? So it's more about the quality of that traffic, for sure.
Yeah, awesome. I love that you said that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about clicks. So
Yeah,
having people click is extremely important, right? That's the
for
whole
sure.
purpose of this.
Yeah.
So there's something called CRO, click
Yep.
rate optimization, right? That's what it stands for.
CRO is conversion rate
Yeah,
optimization.
sorry, damn it.
I mean, there might be a CRO as well, click rate. I think CTR is click through rate
Yeah,
percentage. But maybe there's one for that. I can't keep up with the acronyms or whatever they are.
yeah. So tell us a little bit what this means and if you've got any tips to increase a website CRO.
Yeah, I think initially, as we know in SEO, it's all about kind of the metadata, right? So having that description that stands out, catches the user's attention, having the right kind of keywords and information in the meta title, that's always number one, right? When we're talking about organic search. So yeah, I mean, again, we don't really differ too much from what you do for regular SEO. We make sure that the keywords are included in the title tag. We don't always focus on making sure it's in the meta description. For us, it's not as important, in our opinion. The meta description for us should just be more descriptive and be very kind of catchy. And I think kind of a general idea that we try to follow is not literally giving them, but trying to put the problem in the head of the user and then also putting the solution right after it, right? Because you only get a short amount of character limit in the descriptions. So it's almost giving the user that problem. If they're searching for a product or a service, you try and look at it from the user perspective, right? If you're going back to, you're right.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep sneezing, but I don't want to sneeze on camera.
Go ahead.
Or with the audio, I mean.
If we go back to the example that I used before about lawnmowers, right? If somebody's searching for a lawnmower, it's obviously a necessity. They need it for a reason. So it's trying to put that kind of problem or necessity out there in the description to make the user think about it, and then straight away just kind of use the solution, right? And the solution is what we're offering, which is the best lawnmowers on the market, etc. So that's really kind of how we like to model our meta descriptions, is make the problem and then also solve it in the same description to make the user want to click.
I imagine this CRO is all about how you choose the keywords and the content that you're creating, and choosing creating content or having really good strategy that appeals to people that are ready to buy, right, or very close to it.
Yeah, so
yeah, tell me.
I can touch a little bit on CRO. Yeah, I mean, for us, we found that actually the design of the website or the pages individually are more important than the actual content itself.
Okay.
At least from our kind of testing that we do,
Yeah.
we tend to find, where, like, so for example, we have like comparison tables that compare the best products. Those kind of things that are more interactive for the user tends to be what we find is more important in terms of CRO, because it tends to perform much better in terms of user clicking from our website to end up on the business site. Whereas content, again, we really just kind of follow what you would follow in normal SOPs in SEO. Like, I mean, if we're doing blog content, that's a little bit different, but especially with the best review content, we really just try and, kind of have an intro that's, again, kind of snappy, keeps the user interacted and makes them interested, tell them a little bit about what the post is going to be like. And then really after that, it's more just reviewing the actual products, talking about the products, the key features, the key specs and all that kind of thing. But yeah, to us, it's much more important to have the kind of design elements in the page. And from looking at kind of Hotjar and A/B testing that we do, we find that to be much more important. So actually how we design the web pages and then actually following up with testing to see how that performs has been much more beneficial for us than spending lots of time on looking at how content might actually convert.
Nice. With that said, speaking of design, what about when it comes to links? So is just like a simple anchor text, like just having the text enough? Or do you encourage using pictures and buttons to encourage people to click through
So the affiliate links, or like internal links? Affiliate links.
Affiliate links.
Yeah, so affiliate links, we definitely find the more kind of visual, interactive kind of designs work. So exactly what you said there with the buttons, we actually have our affiliate links as buttons primarily. But then we do also include, like, some product image links, as well as contextual links that are affiliate links as well. But in terms of what works and again what improves that CRO, yeah, it's 100% kind of like nicely designed buttons that are more interactive for the users, and then also the images as well. They help in terms of getting the user interested to click. And like I said, one thing that works really well across all sites, not just ours, in looking at competitors, is the comparison table that kind of compares like the top 3 and stuff like that, and has like a little short description. The users tend to interact with those really, really well.
Awesome.
But yeah, so to answer your question, yeah, they have them in like CTA buttons, we call them.
Yeah. I can imagine, right? Because if people are not really reading, people are scanning through information.
Sure.
And like you said, design is really, really important. Then you got to make it visual to get people to.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Hotjar, you just kind of see, we have like an intro text. A lot of the time, they literally just fly straight past that and go straight to the more interactive part of the page, for sure.
I want to ask you about programs and networks. So if someone wants to start, how do they sign up for affiliate programs? What are the best ones? What are the ones that you recommend? What are some things that people should look for when choosing a program?
Sure. In terms of things to use, I can kind of talk from an affiliate point of view and a business point of view. Okay. There's a few different networks that we like to use. So you've got Avant Links, which is a real big one, and we've had a lot of success with. Share a Sale, CJ Affiliate, Flex Offers, and Pepper Jam. They're kind of the big ones that we would use, and they are affiliate networks which have lists of all different types of websites that have got or offer affiliate programs in various different niches. So yeah, for both businesses and affiliates, I would recommend signing up to those networks. They're all pretty sure they're all free. And they have a ton of different websites available within different niches. And then in terms of things to look for from an affiliate's point of view, it's really important to, it's quite a lot of things. So number one, right, is the commission, as we spoke about, making sure that the commission is a good one, is a fair one for the niche that you're in. Number two is the cookie policy. So what is the cookie policy duration in terms of the amount of days that they give you or for the user to convert and buy a product or service? That's obviously very important in terms of making the commission. And then I think, other stuff to look at is actually the website itself. What you got to think of, again, for us as affiliates, we're very much relying on the business's website to convert, right? It's okay if we send them whatever 5,000 visitors a month, but if they've got like a really old website or one that just doesn't convert well, doesn't interact well with users, or it has a lot of bugs in terms of the buying process, whatever it may be, we've got to look at that and seriously consider it, because that kind of stuff, as you know, can completely kill CRO. So that's one thing to always look at. Have a really good look at the website that you're going to be partnering with, and almost look at it as like you were the user, right? So you want to go ahead and buy something on this website. Can I do it easily? Was there any problems? Anything that's like a hurdle from stopping you make that purchase. And I think that's something that is important to look for when deciding to partner with anybody. And then obviously, just choosing a website that offers the kind of products and services in your niche, because at the end of the day, that's what you want them to do. You want to be sending them traffic that's going to buy those products that you're offering on the website. So yeah, I'd say they're probably the most important things to consider.
Do you recommend joining like as many affiliate programs as possible, or just keeping it to like 2 or 3 just to make it easier to manage? What are your recommendations?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, there's no issue with kind of the shotgun approach, if you like, of just signing up for various different ones. Again, I mean, we would really go through and have a proper look at the website and select them, because just in terms of wasting time, right? There's no point signing up for 20, 30 affiliate sites that, again, aren't just going to convert well, or whatever. Maybe they're spammy, they have low traffic, or whatever it is. So I think it's worth doing that research and really choosing the ones that you want to sign up for. But there is nothing wrong with doing a shotgun approach. You can always kind of cut ties with your program. So yeah, I mean, I'd say in terms of organizing it in the first place is get a big list or spreadsheet of all the possible options of brands that you can use to partner with, and then also the e-commerce stores. And, you know, go ahead and kind of do all the research on them, get some stats from the website. So what their kind of DR is, what their website traffic's like, all that kind of stuff, what policy, again, they offer, what commission they offer. And yeah, go ahead and sign up for the priority ones first. But there's absolutely no problem. I mean, a lot of affiliate websites, especially now due to kind of some of the issues that they're having with Amazon, are starting to use multiple different affiliates, right? So those CTA buttons that we were talking about before, a lot of people will actually have multiple CTA buttons. So they might have kind of three, you know, all in the same design. One's for Amazon, one's for whoever, Walmart, and one's for some other brand. And then that way they kind of give the user an option of which one they want to use. But yeah, I'd say nothing wrong with signing up for loads, but definitely prioritize the main ones first, just to avoid kind of wasting time and stuff like that, really.
You mentioned Amazon and their problems. Do affiliates have problems with Amazon, or you're talking about like the ethical issues that people are choosing?
I mean, yeah, that's a whole other conversation. But I think it's quite well known in kind of the marketing industry that Amazon recently cut a lot of their affiliate commission percentages. So let's just say a lot of affiliates are considering other options with that. Hence using other affiliates and displaying them on their websites, because it's kind of a bit of an insecure situation with Amazon. I think at the moment, nobody knows in the affiliate world what they're going to do kind of next.
Okay.
It's not like a problem with them, but it's a problem that I think affiliate marketers need to just think about, right?
Right. Okay, so Gigi asked a question: if your website is not strictly for affiliate links, let's say you have an online magazine, for example, what's the best approach for affiliate links? Are there services that help you get the links, or should you work with companies directly? I think the program question kind of answered that, but Alex, I'll let you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think like there's any particular niche that you necessarily really need to choose. It all depends on what your website blog would be about, right? I mean, a lot of the blogs these days, they can cover all sorts of topics to do with, you know, fashion, tech, travel, whatever it may be. So these kind of websites always post blog content in various different niches and categories, and you know, you can kind of promote whether it's products or services in those categories from each one. So I don't think, in terms of the original question was, what was she actually asking? Then
she's saying, if your website's not affiliate, is strictly for affiliate links, you don't have like a specific niche, or you're not targeting like reviews. If it's the blog or an online magazine, what's the best approach for affiliate links? And she's asking about what services can you get the links. So she's talking about like what kind of programs and networks, which we already answered. So
yeah, so she could use, or anybody could use all of those ones that we kind of mentioned. Yeah, they pretty much cover all niches. But yeah, I think it can all be done by blog posts, by blog content. Obviously, presuming that the blog content gets traffic, because obviously if you don't, nobody's going to click the affiliate links. But yeah, I think it's something we see a lot, where people just kind of generate it in regular blog posts that get a lot of traffic daily. You know, if you talk about a particular niche or whatever, and I think like you mentioned with SEM Rush, if it's something that you talk about quite often in your blog content, then yeah, sure, you can add an affiliate link in there. In terms of how you would do it, I think again with these kind of blogs, they all tend to be a little bit more trendy and classy than maybe the affiliate websites that we might have. So I don't think, to answer Gigi's question, you'd have like a load of CTA buttons mixed in all the blog content, because you know, I know those kind of sites, they pride themselves very much on how they look. And I think they would rather probably have like a contextual link or maybe an image link rather than big maybe CTA buttons and stuff like that. But yeah, for sure, you could definitely incorporate into regular blog posts across different niches, for sure.
Awesome. And if anyone else that's watching has any other questions, feel free to drop them below. Otherwise, I got so many questions from our email newsletter.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hit
Yeah, let's go.
Matthew. So, okay, so we talked about programs. Now, Gabriel Jordan asked about managing at scale. So if you have any tips for managing a large website, a large online on-page on-page SEO at scale, for if you have a large portfolio. So yeah, do you have any tips for that?
Yeah, good question. I think first of all, one thing we've learned from kind of our experience in it and in affiliate marketing, and I guess it goes in SEO in general, right? If you start in any business, or it doesn't have to be affiliate marketing, but one thing we've definitely found helpful is have a set guide of SOPs in place, first of all. Mm-hmm. So, you know, starting from start to finish, starting from the research at the start to building out the website, to ranking it, to getting every little task that is included in getting that website done to the flipping stage, have it all down in an SOP. Like, what is the SOP? How do we do this? Because as you start to scale out more and build.
For those that don't know, what is an SOP?
Oh, sorry. So SOP is a standard operating procedure. So something that you'd put in place to basically know what the process is, right? And I think one of the
Word documents, right? It's usually like a PDF that explains.
Yeah, so it could be this. I think there's a website called Process Street, I believe it's called, that we've used before. That's quite good for kind of building those SOPs, and it kind of incorporates like a little checklist in there where you can almost, you literally go through and it checks off everything that you've done. So that's a good way to manage it, especially when you try to hand over certain jobs to other people that maybe you're used to doing, which I'm going to get into now. So yeah, especially when you try to scale up from one to X amount of websites, something that is really important is that SOP, because what you're going to start to have to do at some point is hand off the reins to people below you, right? So staff, whether it's VAs or whatever it may be, as the kind of owner of the website or whatever you are, you're not always going to have the time to scale those 3, 4, 5 websites that you're creating. So I think SOPs, and then looking into hiring people below you that can learn from you, learn all the tasks that you've been doing so far to get that first website built, and putting the training in place to teach those people. So yeah, I'd say that's the big thing to do, because it gets to a stage where you just haven't got the time to do it. So you definitely need to hand those off. And so it's looking at what jobs can other people do, and even getting those other people below you to train the people below them. So one thing we find really helpful is getting getting a VA that's quite knowledgeable, experienced, etc., and getting them to move into a role where they can teach other VAs below them and be like a manager VA. And with that, you'll soon start to be able to take your kind of hands off the wheel a little bit more and really just oversee it.
Wow,
I'd say that's a big.
That's really impressive. It's kind of like a pyramid scheme, though, Alex.
Without yeah, it's a good pyramid scheme, yeah. But pretty much, yeah, that's it. And I think one thing like we kind of like hesitated on at first was handing those reins off, right?
I can imagine.
Like about letting people do those big jobs, especially if they're SEO related. But it all comes down to kind of what resources you've got available. If you've got quite a bit of a staff budget, instead of hiring maybe a VA, you can hire something like a junior SEO, right? And then at least they know the industry, and you feel a little bit more confident to hand off those kind of tasks to those people.
That's really interesting. That's something that I'm doing myself, creating SOPs in my own business. So I love that you mentioned that. Okay, so
SOPs are key, 100%. It's something that I definitely recommend that anybody does, is because if you get to that stage, like again, 6 months down the line, and you've not got those processes in place, it can be very, very hard to go back and try and repair all that and put in place SOPs.
Yeah. I think for me, this is a little bit kind of a tangent away from like affiliate links, but just in general, the importance of SOPs, like if, running a service-based business, right, and doing SEO for other people, when it comes to pricing, and you mentioned earlier, like how much time and how much money are you going to put into this, and how much money are you getting in return? Like you want to calculate the ROI. So helping it, like creating an SOP helps you pinpoint exactly how much time it's taking you to complete a task, and that way you can price a lot more efficiently because you know exactly every single detail that goes into to completing a task, right? Where when you're working by yourself, it's easy to be like,
Yeah.
it takes more or less 1 hour, and you're just doing things at
Yeah.
your own pace. And when you pass it down to someone else, you really gotta
Yeah.
list all the things that go into it.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's speaking from experience. I mean, sorry, I know you're trying to get to the next question, but yeah, it's
No,
definitely
no,
something
okay, go
like,
for it.
like you said, that is important, because I always had that kind of mentality of like, oh, well, I could do with somebody else that could just quickly do this small task for me. But,
Mm-hmm.
it's just quicker to do it myself. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just going to do it.
yeah.
And then you get distracted from something else that I knew I should have been doing that was maybe more important. So yeah, sometimes you just kind of got to let go and trust that other people will do a good job.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Jose Ferrari asks about cookies. So what role do
Yeah.
cookies play into conversions, but also the type of content that you're creating? It was a very general question. So he said, just tell him to talk about cookies.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, in terms of content, I wouldn't say there's much to see with that topic. I mean, again, the only really thing we need to think about is more from a conversion point of view, because as I said, when you first started up for these programs, you've really got to you've really got to look at what the policy is, right? So how many days is a user going to be able to come back and make a purchase where you're still making a commission? Because that's important. Some people like, Amazon, obviously a huge site. They only offer 24 hours, I believe. Some sites offer 90 days, some offer longer than that. So, that's obviously a big part of it in terms of, because the user will, a lot of the time, they'll just leave the website and they'll come back a week later, 2 weeks later. So in terms of content, there's not really much to it. I think in terms of conversion, you've got to look at it as like, well, what I've just said, basically, just knowing that a user isn't always just going to go straight to the website and make a purchase. So looking at cookie policies that would have probably like a minimum of a few days would probably be pretty important, I guess, to answer his question.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, I mean, they all have different policies, so you'd have to check that out when you sign up for the program. I know that Amazon, for example, do something where a user can add a product to the cart, and then I believe they can actually come back within 90 days and make that purchase, and you still get the commission.
As long as it's in the
Whereas
cart.
as long as it's in the cart for the 90 days, yeah. If they don't add it to the cart, I believe it's just 24 hours.
Okay.
Whereas other affiliate or other businesses that offer affiliate websites may only offer, again, 7 days. And yeah, it's very common for people to go, oh, you know what, I'm just going to look at this next week, or I'm going to speak to my husband or wife about this first, and then I'll get back to this. And they might not make that purchase, or they might wait another week to do so. So yeah, that's pretty important. Look at the duration of the policies before you sign up for them, for sure.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's like you said, cookies don't really have much of a role to play when it comes to
Yeah,
content, but definitely the
I was
kind of
going to say,
programs.
I think in terms of strategy, which is the word you use, I wouldn't say it wouldn't change our strategy now, in terms of content or conversion. Again, our strategy with the conversion side of things is to use those kind of interactive elements of the website. So cookies doesn't really affect that. We just more,
What
focus on,
program
right,
that you choose.
what is the duration of the cookie period before we decide to sign up for it, and that's about it, really.
Hmm. Is it possible that within a program, some products will have a different cookie policy? Is that or that
Um,
the
Good question. I don't believe so. As far as I'm aware, it's the cookie policy goes for the website in general and their affiliate program. It doesn't go kind of between pages or between products or between service pages or anything like that. It could be possible that maybe if you've got a business that offers a very, very expensive service, kind of maybe what you call high ticket service or product, and also offer maybe a lower ticket service or product, maybe they have a different policy. But as far as I'm aware, that's nothing that can be done. The policy just goes for the website and the affiliate program in general. So as far as I'm aware, there's nothing that you can do like that. No, it just goes for the website in general.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so I got a handful of questions about
Mm-hmm.
um, what do you do when a program changes their policies or the structure, how to protect yourself from liabilities, how do you
Mm-hmm.
maintain this? I guess the maintenance is a little bit more related to um, the scale, what we talked about scaling. But I want to talk
Yeah.
about what do you do when a program changes their policy or the structure? And I guess now with a little bit more context, probably those that asked this question were referring to Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
what's your 2 cents? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think if you're already kind of in a niche and you've already got like set websites within a niche, then if the changes in the policy obviously affects your niche, then yeah, you do need to do something about it. Whether that might be, for example, focusing on maybe more higher ticket items so that you can make more of a commission when you do make those sales. Because like for us with Amazon, you make all sorts of little small commissions off small products that are worth small amounts of money, and it's okay when the commission is quite high. But yeah, if somebody's going to change the policy like that, maybe you do need to focus more on higher ticket items, because even if you're getting 3% on an item that costs a few $100, you're still going to make a nice commission off that, right? Mm-hmm. So I guess that's something to look into if this kind of change has happened mid project, if you like. Maybe if you've not already kind of finished a website, start to focus on products that are, again, more high ticket items, rather than, maybe you're planning on going for those pages that were cheaper items as well. But now with the changes, it kind of makes you need to focus on the high ticket ones. So I guess that's something that I would do if you were midway through a project. Obviously, if you've not started the project yet and these kind of policy change with Amazon or whoever it is, it's just that case of reassessing the situation again in terms of budget and everything else to do with the niche of whether it's still going to be worth it. Trying to talk from experience, the only kind of really situation we've had with changes in policy is again Amazon, where they were fairly recently cut. And the kind of things that I suggested there is one of the things that we kind of looked into in terms of focusing more on higher ticket items and pages that even if they didn't sell lots of them, at the lower commission was still going to make a good amount of money for us.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Fantastic. This has been awesome. We have one last question from Gigi. So Gigi says, bonus question. Since you have sites with affiliate links where you review products and tell people which products to buy, would you consider yourself an influencer?
Definitely not.
Influence people's buying decisions.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously something that we have to do as part of the process. We can't just, choose random products, right, and just presume that they're the best. So not necessarily me. We do have people that would do a lot of research into the actual products themselves and the services to make sure that they are actually the best ones that are being offered. And we're not just, what some affiliates might do is just display like the most, the products that they're going to make the most money on, right? Would you count yourself as an influencer? Possibly, yeah. But I guess that requires me to promote them all over social media as well and do all those cheesy history and posts that people do with influencer products. So probably the answer would be no. But yeah, like it is something that has to be taken very seriously, because users aren't even though they might not know much about the particular product or service, when they eventually go to Amazon or whatever it is to buy their product, they know like kind of the good brands, the bad brands. So we can't just kind of go, oh yeah, well, we'll just display whichever we want. You've got to make sure you do display the best that are out for them, especially if you want to have a good CRO as well.
Yeah, I know with SaaS companies, because that's the affiliate programs I'm part of. With SaaS companies, they'll give you a trial period of like, sometimes they're very generous and it'll be a whole month, but usually it's 1 week. So you can actually try the program before you promote it. So that's really good. I can't speak on products. I have some friends that do affiliate marketing in the tech industry. And from what they've told me is that when you have a pretty close relationship, like you've sold quite a bit, they'll send products to you, like brand new products they're selling for you to try. I know that's in the tech industry, but that's also because there's a very short lifespan. So they want people to create content quickly and they want to really push it.
Yeah, it's something that happens a lot for us. We do get quite a few emails from some brands that are wanting to send us stuff. We normally just decline it, but yeah, they do tend to reach out to you and say, hey,
Alex.
you actually, I guess maybe let's just start accepting the products, right, and then get some free stuff. But yeah, they offer a lot of stuff out, and they want us to obviously try and review it in person. I think that's what normally businesses do prefer when they're doing affiliate marketing. They want actual people to actually try the product or whatever it is, the service, and then review it. But so yeah, that can be a lot more trickier to do, especially with products, obviously trying to get them all kind of sent out and then get people actually testing them and then to write a full review on it. It can be very time consuming.
Yeah.
Something that we do with the services, like I said, we are starting to touch into affiliate services because it's a little bit more easier to manage. We do actually hire people or get people that are current staff to try out the services and let us know how it is, right? So they can, write a better review on it. They do it firsthand kind of situation. So that's what we're doing at the moment with our service websites.
What kind of services are you referring to? Can you give me some examples?
I don't want to go into the niche just because we can't really go into the actual niches. But it's one that requires a user to sign up for a service and basically use it. So
like in-person service, not online?
It's all done online. So it's a service that's online as well as kind of they have applications for it, stuff like that. So it's something that either on the browser or on the app store that a user can actually sign up for.
Oh, cool.
So we kind of get them to do that and go through the user experience, right? And like nice. I said, let us know how it is firsthand. So, was it easy to sign up? How's the pricing options? What are the in-app pricing options like? All that kind of stuff, and literally provide us with a first-hand review. Whereas with the products, it's a little bit more difficult to do.
Yeah. For anyone that's watching that's maybe thinking about creating their own affiliate program, maybe you're a business. This is like a whole other topic. We can have a whole other conversation about this. But the benefits, besides being like a sales tool, the benefits from an SEO perspective are the backlinks, right? So you've got all these people writing about you, including links. Those are backlinks and can really help your overall SEO. See if I have any other questions. We talked about maintenance, changing policies. Gigi asked about affiliate links. There was another thing I was going to ask you about, but I can't remember anymore.
Well, like we spoke about before, obviously anybody that wants to get in touch and leave questions, whatever it may be, feel free to do so, and I'll check back on the chat later and answer whatever awesome. Anybody comes up with.
Thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you.
I think that's a good way to wrap this up. So where can we find you online?
Yeah, so professionally, really, I'm just on LinkedIn. So I try to stay active on there, but as affiliate marketers, we're not really kind of pushing our stuff out there or ourselves that much. So yeah, professionally LinkedIn, that's about it really. So I'll leave the link to my LinkedIn profile maybe in the comment section. That'd be okay.
Yeah, of course. And I'll tweet into a YouTube video and a blog post, and I can include it there as well.
For sure. Look forward to it.
So if you have any questions, like Alex said, feel free, and you're watching the replay, just write it in the chat box and he'll look it over sometime this week. Thank you so much, Alex. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I took so many notes.
It's
really, really interesting.
I don't know how you do the multitasking. It's impressive.
I think I'm going to take my affiliate partnerships a little bit more seriously, include them more into my blog post, because I'm missing a little bit of leaving money on the table.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good added source of revenue. So if you ever have any more questions or anything, be sure to let me know.
Thank you so much. All right. Well, have a good day.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you very much. You too. Bye.